You are Locked On Mavericks Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Dallas, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, after missing Tuesday night's big game in the Big Apple, Anthony Davis reappeared and the Magic disappeared in the second half, and the Mavs get a huge win on the road in Orlando, 101-92. Here we go. Welcome into the Mavs Postcast, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, 36-plus year host and reporter in the NBA. Happy to be with you tonight after a big win for the Mavs. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Dallas, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Mavericks podcast feed as well. Lots to get to in our brief show tonight, so let's get right to it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
A lot to get to. Again, big win for the Mavs on the road, 101-92. Anthony Davis was back, and very quietly, the Mavs have won 3 of their last 4. Also, what a Hardy party, and what a finish in the second half for Jaden Hardy, who ended up with 5 3-pointers to really not only lead the charge in the second half for the Mavs, but also for the excuse me, my phone's going out there. Also for the finish of this game. Just a great win for the Mavs. And talk about Jaden Hardy. Unfortunately, another injury for Kai Jones, who went down with the hip contusion on that hard fall. Hopefully it won't be a serious issue, but he is out. And how about Brandon Williams? One more game left to go for Brandon Williams, and what a finish. Again, he stepped it up in crunch time tonight. Just a great win all the way around as the Mavs get a much-needed win in Orlando. What about the turning point?
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, I think without a doubt, once again, the Mavs are getting back in the groove of stepping it up, not only in crunch time, but stepping it up in the second half and coming out strong out of the locker room. Great example again tonight. It was a very ugly start to the game for sure. I mean, both teams did not play well at all. The Mavs won the first quarter 19-17. Second quarter, the Magic were kind of getting it going a little bit. They won the second quarter 33-24, had the lead at halftime. But in the third, coming out of the locker room at halftime, the Mavs did a really good job. And I credit a couple of guys that really didn't play well in the first half, but they did coming out of the locker room in the third. And that would be Anthony Davis and Spencer Dinwiddie, who both got it going in the third quarter. And I think that really kind of spilled over and kind of carried over to the rest of the team and let them feel a little bit more comfortable and didn't feel the pressure, let them play their game, if you will. And they did that. And I thought AD and Dinwiddie set the tone. Klay Thompson hit a big shot. And before you know it, I mean, the Mavs were rolling. The Magic made a run, and it was, I think it was tied at one point midway through the third. But when it was all said and done, the Mavs won the third quarter 34-20, and then they really just kept hitting clutch shots and big shots down the stretch. Specifically, man, what a game for Jaden Hardy, who hit the threes, 5 of them in total, and the Mavs won the fourth quarter as well, 24-22. But again, they win it 101-92, and considering how excited we were with AD's return in Brooklyn, and then kind of the disappointment at the way the game ended in New York against the Knicks, this one, I wasn't sure. I mean, I was hoping with AD back, they would be jacked up again and excited, and wasn't really sure the way the game started, especially after the first quarter. But coming out of the locker room in the third, they really stepped it up. They played well. They got it going, and they end up pulling away again, you can't say it enough, with only 8 games left to go now, and this jockeying for position with the Suns and with Sacramento. The Kings are going to play later tonight. Every win is critical, is huge. And I've said this before. Look, I'm not saying, okay, come on, guys, let's step up and you can win the title. But considering all the adversity, all of the injuries, and everything that this team has been through this season, I would love to see this team get a little bit healthier and have an opportunity to at least participate and see what they can do, and just get a shot to play in the postseason. So we'll see. Got a long way to go, a couple of weeks left, 8 games left to go, but a huge win on the road tonight for the Mavs, 101-92. If you want to weigh in, want to get your thoughts, what do you think of where the team is at? What do you think of what we saw tonight and how the game went? We want to hear from you via the comment crew, so please jump in, share your thoughts. We'll get to those when we come back. We'll also have our Mavs player of the game. I think you know who that is going to be. All that and more when we return. This is the Mavs Postcast. All right, well, you know what time it is. It's March, and we had a little magic madness tonight for the Mavs in this one going up against Orlando. But March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even who is cutting down the nets. I know who I picked. Picking my favorites, I've got my eye on a few underdogs this year. I've picked a few. I'm doing pretty good in my brackets, so that's good. And FanDuel makes it easy to back them with spreads, totals, and game props. So you can stay in the action with tournament games happening almost every day. There is always something exciting to bet on. It's easy, it's fast, and the FanDuel app is really simple to use. And when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. Okay, welcome back to the Mavs Postcast. Jeff Biggs, happy to be with you. 101-92, the final. The Mavs get a huge win on the road in Orlando with 1 game left to go on the road trip. 8 games left to go in the regular season. Time now for our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Well, it was great to have Anthony Davis back again. Looked a little sluggish initially, but finally kind of got it going and hit some big shots. Anthony Davis ended up with 15 points in 29 minutes. That's kind of the range they wanted him at. 28, I think, was what the high was. Anthony Davis ended up 1 of 5 from beyond the 3-point line, 4 of 7 at the free throw line, had 7 rebounds, a couple of assists, and again ended up with 15 points. But AD is not my player of the game. I got to go with Jaden Hardy with 22 points in 20 minutes off the bench. he was outstanding. And he is one of those guys where, number one, I think you need guys like that can get hot quick and are really streaky like that. And when they get it going, they can literally win a game for you. I think looking ahead, I think somebody like him is critical for a playoff run for sure. But Hardy was lights out tonight in Orlando. 22 points, including 5 of 6 beyond the 3-point line in 20 minutes. I mean, he was just lights out. 3 rebounds, ended up with only 1 turnover. Played really well, though, and really kept the Mavs' momentum and the pressure on the Magic in the second half. So I'm going to give him player of the game honors for sure. I thought, like I said, Spencer Dinwiddie, who got the start, even though he finished with only 7 points, I thought he did a really good job of kind of setting the tone for the team in the second half. I'm going to give him credit for that. Tough news for Kai Jones. As I said, hopefully this is not going to be a serious issue. He fell pretty hard on his left hip, and you don't know if he's going to be able to come back in Chicago. Maybe he'll take a break and just sit out the Chicago game and then be ready to go when the Mavs come back home. We'll see about that. Kind of a quiet game for Najee, but he had that big bucket there at the end to help seal it for the Mavs. He ended up with 6 points after his career night at the Garden. Spencer Dinwiddie, we talked about. Kai Jones ended up with 4. Klay Thompson, a very quiet 12, ended up with a couple of threes, but had a big shot in the third. Also scored in the fourth. I think any key contributions from Klay in crunch time right now with everything going on will help, and hopefully we'll see kind of big game Klay kind of take over here down the stretch with 8 games left to go, and now pretty much every game the rest of the way for the Mavs is going to be pretty much a must win. So we'll see about that. On the bench, pretty good night for the bench. I mean, the Mavs had I can't remember the last time the Mavs had 10 players available, and then ironically they lose another one in Kai Jones in the first half. Caleb Martin was back. Boy, it would be great to see him ramp it up here down the stretch. He ended up with 5 points with a minutes restriction, ended up playing 17 minutes. But when he's right and when he's healthy, I know the trade does not look good compared to what Quentin Grimes has been doing. But if they can get Caleb Martin going, I think that will be huge for sure. Dwight Powell, 4 points. He's grinding. He's trying to do it. He's trying to hang in there and help out and just give AD and some of the other guys a break. He ended up with 4 points. Brandon Williams, can't say enough. I mean, this guy just, to me, is getting better and better and better every single game. 14 points in 27 minutes. Only 1 3, but had 6 assists, couple of steals, and is just playing really, really well. Love, I've been really calling for him and been supporting him the entire second half, and kind of sad. I mean, he's got 1 more game left, and that's it. And I think without a doubt, he has shown that he can be a regular NBA player, contributor for sure. I don't think he needs to do the 2 ways anymore, but man, I like his game, and I think he can still get even better. Max Christie, kind of a quiet start for Max, but he had a couple of big threes, ended up with 12 points in 29 minutes, but anything they can do to get Max going again, where he was, in double figures every game, that will be huge as well. The rebounding edge went to the Magic, but the turnovers were huge. I mean, the Mavs had 14. That's not great. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Orlando had 16. The Mavs had 21 assists compared to 14 to Orlando. So the Mavs, to their credit, I mean, they were trying to move the ball around and they were trying to get other people involved, and so that was good. Points in the paint, 48-38 Orlando, but points off of turnovers, the Mavs had 20, and I think the real big number was the three-point shooting. The Mavs were 11 of 23, Orlando 5 of 30. 5 of 30 for the Magic from beyond the arc, and that's not going to get it done, especially on your home floor. And the Mavs will take it. They win it 101-92. And again, I thought the real turning point, the key to the game, was the third quarter when the Mavs outscored the Magic 34-20. All right, so when you take a look at the Western Conference standings at the moment, the Mavs are in the number 9 spot. They're a half game ahead of Phoenix, tied with Sacramento, although they have one more loss than Sacramento, but they also have one more win than the Kings. And the Kings are kind of struggling, and they're coming up here in a few minutes at home against the Blazers tonight. So we'll see what happens in that one. And then for the Phoenix Suns, they will be on the road tomorrow night at Minnesota. And of course, the Mavs will wrap up their road trip on Saturday night in Chicago. I will be with you after the game for that one. So please jump in and join me after the game. We'll get your thoughts on the trip, on the game, and where the Mavs will stand at that point. Maybe PJ Washington will be back for that game. We'll see. But in the meantime, be sure and check out Nick Angstedt and his great work with the whole crew. Isaac, Slightly Biased, they will be on the Mavs podcast, not only tonight, but also they'll have more content for you tomorrow and on Saturday as well. But the final, again, tonight here on this Thursday, the Mavs step it up. They pull it out. They get the win in Orlando, 101-92. Thank you for hanging with me, those of you that did. And again, I hope that you will join me on Saturday night after the Mavs run with the Bulls in Chicago. Mavs win tonight in Orlando. This has been the Mavs Postcast.